Hello and a warm welcome to the Ascot Park Hotel, Teretonga Park International. George Begg in the distance, and we are in the middle of the building you are looking at right now as we await the start of race 2 coming up for the Bridgestone GR86s coming up. Alongside me, Jonathan Green, is Ronan Murphy, and yesterday was kind of a big moment, wasn't it? And here we are on board. This is what happened to Emerson Vincent.
Yeah, he's unfortunately he's gotten into the back of Simon Hunter pretty hard there, and it's unfortunately led to poor old Simon here ending up with quite a substantial hit into the outside earthfield tyres there, and that's just quite sickening to watch. Unfortunately, really glad to hear that Simon was okay, but as we can see there, extensive damage to the number 42, as is where his car, run by Race Lab, and yeah, Emerson Vincent's come away with a $2,500 fine, a year endorsement on his license, and a disqualification from that race. So yeah, it's was a pretty unfortunate incident there, really disappointing for everybody involved, and yeah, I think it's sort of one of those things. It's car racing, but in those instances it's pretty hard to sort of not probably receive a penalty, considering the events that unfolded and the consequences of the event that transpired.
The thing I noticed was he was flashing the lights as well, so he was kind of he was very impulsive about the whole thing.
Yeah, it's certainly it looked like there, he probably had the opportunity to avoid the incident, and I think that's probably what has brought on that that a penalty of that substantialness and harshness. But look, it's unfortunately there's risks involved, and the event that's unfolded is a really disappointing one, and it's what's happened. It's now in the past, and I think everyone's just going to want to move on from it and try and have a better day today. But yeah, disappointing, and obviously not what we want to see ever occur.
Here's the grid then for race 2, and it's a reverse top 10. Caleb Byers and Harry Townsend on the podium at Hampton, remember. Cooper Barnes, who was pole yesterday, he starts 3rd. Cormac Murphy starts 4th. Cameron Hill and Josh Bethune. Good opportunity for Josh Bethune from 6th. Baccaroos likewise 7th. Lachlan Evanet, the Australian, in 8th position. Then Justin Allen and Chris White. Those were your 1 and 2 from yesterday. Zach Blinklow and Jet Murray is 11th and 12th. Then Hugo Allen, work to do again for him. 13th, he starts alongside the experienced, coming back to the fray, Dion Pitt. Blake Knowles just behind him. Further down, Mallard Morton, Braun, Raymond Mallon, then Hayden Lyons and Emerson Vincent in 24th place. That man's got the best view of all. What do you think? Reverse top 10 is always a bit more exciting, isn't it? Because we expect the guys in 9th and 10th and 8th and 7th to start making their way through. So there's always an opportunity of more overtakes.
Yeah, well, it's a great opportunity for guys like Caleb Byers. Harry Townsend, again, he was really fast at Hampton Down, so he's got a crack off the front row there to try and drive away and get a solid result. Obviously, Cooper Barnes, our pole sitter from yesterday, he fell back in the race, so now having to start, a great starting position, but obviously fell back in the race. And obviously good opportunity for the likes of Cormac Murphy as well. Cameron Hill there and off 5th, and Josh Bethune. Those M2 right cuts by M2 competition cars are fast again. And obviously the guys to watch coming through will be our top 2 guys from yesterday, Justin Allen and Chris White Jr. off that 5th row of the grid there for Syndicate Motorsport and James Marshall Motorsport.
Just for fun, let me put you in your brother's seat for a second. He starts 5th. How do you overtake? What would you tell him to do?
Oh, I think really it's like anything, especially racing this track, Jonathan. We know the last corner is probably the best overtaking opportunity, and if the car ahead of you gets a bad run off that last corner, sometimes turn 1 can be the place to try and have a crack. So we'll wait and see. It's obviously so good looking down the field there, seeing 2486s on the grid. Disappointing, obviously, that Simon Hunter's not on the grid today, and hopefully he's feeling okay this morning. But so we're looking out, waiting for those last couple of cars to grid up there at the back, and wait for the lights to come on, and hopefully we'll have a race start shortly.
Big field of over 25 cars. The lights are on. Out they go and away we go. Great start from the 33. as Townsend bogs down and loses 2 places immediately. Byers, on the other hand, is flying, and away he goes. Fantastic shot from the drone, shows you exactly how it's all panning out.
Cormac Murphy got a great start there on the outside. He actually drove around the outside of Harry Townsend, so he clearly got his start sorted after yesterday. A little bit of an average one, and we see there Josh Bethune's dropped there into 4th. Cameron Hill there in 5th. Chris White Jr.'s come from 10th. Podium setup from yesterday. Justin Allen's way out in the boonies out there on the exit of turn 1.
He's taken out the Repco side, so has the Napa car, number 99, and it was the 10 of AJ Giddy, not so giddy after that start. It's a bit of a giddy up for him. He's right at the back and needs to get moving, but he did stall on the grid and he got it going again. But more news with Justin Allen going off immediately, and that's going to push him right back. And look, he's still got the Repco sign on there. That's going to heat the radiator out quick, isn't it? Yeah, the 99 car is going to be running a little bit hot after that. Hopefully, hopefully that sign manages to disperse as they come around the rest of the track. But Chris White Jr. did a brilliant job from 10th on the grid to move up there into the top 5 already. So he's passed 5 cars on the opening lap. That's pretty impressive. That's, yeah, out of all the movers and shakers, he was definitely the standout on that opening lap. And Josh Bethune's done a good job there to settle there into 4th, chasing after Cormac Murphy. Dion Pitt, look at this. Christina All-West, and the championship leader, Hugo Allen there, in for a good battle back, a little bit further back, just on the outskirts of the top 10. They come through turn 1 there, through that 180-degree corner. Allen makes the pass, and now he's setting off after previous race winner here at Invercargill, Dion Pitt. I spoke to All West last night, and she made, I made notice that obviously with Hunter out and with John Petty not taking part, she's got a great opportunity in the Masters, just 3 of them in that battle, and so she is definitely in the mood today. She says she doesn't want to win it by default, as it were, but she's got a chance now to catch up with Penny with some good points here today. Another pretty big mover and shaker on that opening lap, actually, guy who started from the back of the grid, Emerson Vincent. He's moved up to 15th position, so managed to make up a few spots there. And we look through the field there, just endless amounts of battling going on. Cormac Murphy's got a good toe there on Cooper Barnes. Caleb Byers is doing a brilliant job out the front there. He's got about a car length gap over Cooper Barnes. Chris White Jr. is having a battle there with Josh Bethune, trying to go around the outside. You see there Cameron Hill, followed by Hayden Baccaris, Zach Blinko, Harry Townsend there in 9th, and Lachlan Evan at the podium finisher from yesterday there around the other top 10. The 2 drivers that impress me in this field are Bethune and Baccaris. The reason being, they know how to be consistent, but they know how to stay in the top 10 and pick up the points they need. They don't try to be heroes, and they just get on with it. And that's just good discipline, and you need that in 86. The whole key to this game is consistency. And AJ Giddy's done the fastest lap of the race, a 107.9. So the only car in the 7 so far, the youngest driver in the field. That's going to put him in good spirits for the final race in terms of position. But we go back to the front there. Caleb Byers, he's just doing a great job out the front. He's maintained that lead. Cooper Barnes right up behind him. Cormac Murphy not too far off behind those 2 either. So as we come back up the front straight, everyone moves to the inside of the track. They don't want to give anyone an opportunity, to try and make a move up the inside going down the front straight. Cooper Barnes, he seems to have a really good toe in that car. He seems to be able to get right up behind Caleb Byers down there at 1. Byers, he's good through turn 1 there, maintaining that margin. Cormac Murphy's running a little bit wider, but he's cutting back into getting the apex on the exit there. Chris White Jr.'s got an issue. The race winner from yesterday, he's lost a heap of positions. I think he ran a bit wide there on through the middle of turn 1, and Caleb Byers has thrown it away. He's lost the position. He's lost one. He's lost the race lead, and Cormac Murphy's trying to go around the outside. Yeah, Murphy's through into 2nd place, and now he's lost to 4th now. What a change around. Bethune's there too, in the 32, and he's still trying on the outside. He goes to the outside and over those bricks once again, but luckily everything A-okay. But what a change around in a matter of moments, and look at Murphy and Barnes. Byers has clearly made a big mistake of some sort somewhere. Maybe the pressure from Barnes has got to him. So disappointing there for Caleb Byers, and someone's gone round. Yep. Can't quite tell who that is. That looks like Lachlan Evanet? Yeah, the 24 car Evanet. So the 3rd place getter from yesterday, Jonathan. Disappointing for him. Young Aussie turned around, and wow, this race has changed dramatically. It's so close at the moment. Here comes the number 10. AJ Giddy moving up to, 21st place, having stalled on the grid. But now it's Cooper Barnes. Murphy second. Byers drops to third. Bethune fourth. Cameron Hill fifth. And Backeroo's in the top six. Harry Townsend, who started in the front, on the front row, starts and drops to seventh. Blinko behind him. Chris White ninth and Dion Pitt up to top 10. Still watching for Hugo Allen. He's up to 12th, the championship leader.
Yeah, so Caleb Byers there in the 33 car, the South Fence Machinery Mobile. He's managed to find his form again, and Cormac Murphy looks like he's made a mistake because Byers has got a brilliant run on him. He's trying to go up the inside. Murphy's defended the inside. Good defending there. Byers still nibbling away at the back of that car. Josh Bethune sitting there comfortably in fourth place, doing everything he can to try and get a run on these two youngsters up ahead of him. Heaps of experience in the number 32 car there, Josh Bethune. Plenty of racing in Formula Ford. Obviously, he did Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Championship for some rounds of it a little while back, a couple of years ago. We see there cars going back into turn one. The top five are close. Cormac Murphy a little bit wide there through turn one, and Byers is getting a real run on him out of turn one there. He seems to be probably driving in his mirrors a little bit too much. He needs to focus on what's going on ahead, but Cooper Barnes has got this race in control. He's just leading from the front. He's got a safe margin over the rest of the pack there. There's a bit of a gaggle going on further back. And actually, Chris White Jr. is leading the next group of cars with Dion Pitt, Zach Blinko and Emerson Vincent right in behind him.
I'm keeping an eye on Justin Allen as well. That was the man that went very wide indeed. He, of course, is in the championship chase. He's 15th at the moment. He's just got past Will Morton, and he's got Mason Potter and Hugo Allen next. It's going to be hard to get past Hugo Allen for sure, because he too is trying to make it to the front. But as you say, 6 of the 18 gone. We're about to click off another one. Just saw Justin Allen going through shot, but Cooper Barnes has a 0.8 of a second lead now over Cormac Murphy, who's got his own mirrors to worry about because he's got 3 cars, well, 4 cars behind him right now, all trying to get past as they dive into turn one again.
And it's crazy to think, isn't it, Jonathan? We're only a third of the way through this race, only on lap 7 out of 18, so plenty of action still to come here in race 2 this morning for the Bridgestone GR86 Championship. Coming down there, Byers, he's looking. Murphy's run him. Oh, but they're going to go too wide through here. Murphy's going to have the inside for the third last corner as they come through there, side by side. He's not trying to give it up. Fires it back up the inside. A little bit of contact there.
Josh on block, nicely done.
Good job holding in there. Josh Bethune's going to be looking to capitalise on both these young guys. Haven't gone racing it hard down towards the final corner. Cameron Hill's now trying to show a nose as well. Hayden Backerus and Harry Townsend for Mackenzie Motorsport. Those guys are also trying to get a piece of the action. Chris White Jr. There's a bit of a gap back to him there after that brilliant start he had. He just made a bit of a mistake there somewhere along the way and dropped a few spots. But look further down, our championship leader Hugo Allen, he's down there in 12. Murphy goes the outside. Byers is defending from Josh Bethune. And has to come out of this first corner a bit better than he did on the last lap to try and get a better run.
As they fight, it's all playing to Cooper Barnes' advantage.
Someone's fired off the track at the exit there at the beginning of turn 1. Murphy's made a huge mistake and he's lost the position back to Byers, and Bethune's trying to now go around the outside of him as well.
Just flying up then from that incident, but all this time, Cooper Barnes now with a 1.3 second lead over that chasing pack of Cormac Murphy, Byers, Bethune and Hill.
And I have a feeling that maybe have been our championship leader that ran off the track. He's now back on the track down there at turn 3 and 4, but
yeah, he's disappeared off the running order, hasn't he?
It's been a lap 8 of absolute chaos out there as Murphy gets into the back of Bethune there. He's trying to have a little bit of a nibble on the back there of the 32 car and come up the front straight to click off another lap.
Here we go.
Here's the replay. It was our championship leader, Hugo Allen. So he's ended up in the gravel trap there. He's managed to do a good job to keep it out of the sand and managed to get going again, but costly there for the championship leader.
Wow, it's turning out to be a rotten weekend. He has been so consistent. He's led the whole way up until this point, and then he was nowhere in practice. He qualified 21st for the first race, made it through to, 13th place, but now off again at turn 1. It's not going to help his quest to try and stay top of the list, and this is only going to help the likes of Justin Allen, who's now up to 14th place, and likewise to Backerus, who's 6th, and Bethune, who is currently third.
And Caleb Byers has got serious pace in the number 33 car. He's just driven away from Cormac Murphy and Josh Bethune. And Murphy's gone back up the inside. He's run up the road. Trying to have it. Oh, he's going round.
Oh, that's a real shame for Cormac. He was going so well up until that point. That is disappointing because I don't think there was any fault of his there. They were just rubbing and racing, as it were. He's managed to gain back on track, but yeah, that's not what he wanted.
Yeah, there was some serious rubbing there between the two of them, and it just looked like he got run out of road a bit. Unfortunately, there wasn't a gap and ended up in the grass there, so I'm sure we'll probably didn't only sort of caught the end of that there, so we'll have to probably have another look at what happened. But we see there Cameron Hill's got run wide there by Hayden Backers. Harry Townsend's now having a piece of it and fires through there at the exit of turn 1. Good move from him, and he's got turn! And that's not going to end well. With a huge hit there off the exit of turn 1. Massive crash.
Well, that's going to bring out the safety car on lap 10 for sure.
Massive
Nasty
incident.
hit. Back of the car completely ripped off.
That's some serious damage. Red flag for the field. That is a big accident. And again, just coming on the exit of 1 there. Jonathan, what was your take on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, these guys are, it's hard to, I mean, I need to see it again, but yeah, I don't think Hill had anything to do with it. He was just biffed. And we've had some big incidents at turn 1, and that was a nasty one because he hit the back end of that car. Photographer straight over there to have a look, but he's out the car, which is good news. There he is. And yeah, I'm not surprised he's stretching a little bit. Cameron Hill took a big hit there in the back of that car.
He's going to be feeling that, isn't he, for the rest of the day? That was a big hit, so that's really disappointing for the youngster here. So Harry Townsend did a good job to clear him, and then Chris White Jr., the race winner from yesterday, contact.
You know why? Chris got hit from behind. He actually touched Hill while out of control. It wasn't his fault. Watch. Chris White gets hit from behind.
So he got unsettled by Townsend there, and then, to be honest, Chris White Jr., he's quite far up, so I wouldn't necessarily...
See,
yeah, that's a hard one. It's going to be hard to judge there for Rowan Shepherd, the DSO, to be able to figure out exactly what his calling's going to be on that, because, yeah, Chris White Jr., he was pretty far up on Cameron Hill. It's an awkward one there when you're on the outside of turn 1. There's not a lot of grip. He was already starting to potentially lose a bit of grip and lose. He was half sort of sideways around that corner. Harry Townsend did a good job to sort of get past, and then Chris White, unfortunately, yeah, it's going to be a hard one to really deem there because he was already sort of slightly sideways. That he was pretty far up. The
good news is, obviously, you can see how the safety of these cars works. The cage is fine, Hill is fine, and we take another look at the replay. But I noticed that hit to Chris White's rear end was part of him not really being in a position to get out of the way in some ways. But then off goes Hill and a big hit to the back of the car. But everybody A-OK. I saw the medic just checking him over, but that's a big impact.
Yeah, we'll leave that for the race officials and the DSO to make a call on that one later. But going back to it, hopefully we can see this incident cleared up. It's done a lot of damage there to the tyre wall, so that's yeah, going to probably take a little bit of time to clear up. Hopefully we do eventually see a restart. But going back to it, obviously Cooper Barnes was our race leader at the time of the red flag. Caleb Byers had done a great job to catch back up, and his lap time on that last lap was a 107.9. So he was the second fastest car of the race so far. I think apart from AJ Giddy, Caleb Byers is the only other guy to make it into the 7s. So clearly heaps of speed there in the number 33 James Marshall Motorsport car. He's yeah, sort of following the trend on of his teammate yesterday in the 88 car, who won the race pretty convincingly.
Well, there's a couple of stories we should pop out on. Cormac Murphy, as you saw, involved on going into the grass tracking. He drops to 16. Christina All-West in the ITM car there, you see, with the only female engineer in the field, is dropping down. She dropped down to 21st, having started really well. And as they clear up, the other story, Dion Pitt up to 8th position. Hugo Allen has dropped all the way down to 21st, his qualifying position from yesterday. But that's not good because, of course, he went off at turn 1 as well, but managed to get back on track. And AJ Giddy, who set the fastest lap at one point, is also right at the back again.
Well, and if this race does recommence, Jonathan, you know, a red flag is really a saving grace for guys like Hugo Allen and Cormac Murphy, who lost all that time in separate incidents. So you know, for these guys, it's almost, as much as you never, you know, you always hope no one's ever injured and there's no serious issues. But, you know, a red flag is almost the best you could hope for, to be able to, you know, start from scratch, you know, start again with no gaps in the field, you know, be back on the train of cars rather than being, you know, with a huge gap to the previous.
Yeah, it'll
cars.
be a rolling start, of course. And we had one of those yesterday when Simon Hunter went off, another big off. Let's head down to Stephen McIver.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, it's just another crazy day here. It's at Teretonga. Cooper Barnes still holding the lead. This has been a wild old ride, mate. What's it like out there?
Yeah, it's pretty hectic. I looked behind once and I seen the car spinning, so I was like, oh, it's getting a bit mayhem back there, but yeah.
Feeling confident? Yesterday you were on pole, didn't actually manage it, so now you're in this position. Are you confident you can hold on the restart if we get the restart? Oh, you're being spoken to, right?
Sorry, the guy's talking on my radio.
No, it's cool. I'll leave you alone. It's all about business. Got to do business here. We'll go back into have a chat here. Caleb Byers. And Caleb, well, this is just another one of those things you get in racing. How are you feeling if they get the restart?
Yeah, I was pretty confident there. The red flag kind of hurt us, but we were catching Cooper pretty fast. So, no, it'll be good if we get a restart. But
early in this race, you went backwards pretty quickly. What went on?
Yeah, I just made a mistake at 2 and went back, made my way back forward. So, looking good for the restart, hopefully.
A little nervous?
A little bit, yeah. First pole, so a bit nervous.
You're right, mate. Okay, Josh Bethune, who we know can race. Remember, he had that race taken off him in Taupo. But, mate, you are on fire today.
Yeah, the car's good. We managed to get a good start this morning, and yeah, we're just currently battling with some young guns that think that driving with their doors is a good idea.
All right, we'll leave that one alone. Hayden Backris, I'm reliably informed now, has moved to the top of the championship because of where Hugo is. So, mate, you're in a position where we can say right now you've taken the championship lead.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, lucky to have a really good start in that race. Moving forward. And, you know, it's pretty carnage out here at Teretonga. So just made the most of it, just move forward.
And stay out of the way.
And stay out of the way, exactly.
All right, mate, we'll leave you alone. So there you go. That's our potential championship leader. Now, we talk about guys that, you know, are improving. Harry Townsend's one of them in the Bayswater GR86. And mate, you've got your wheels on today. Passing left, right and centre, inside, outside. What's going on?
I mucked up the start, so I'm just trying to make up for what I lost at the start, really.
How much are you learning about this track as it goes?
Yeah, it's obviously a track where you've got to take a look at a lot of the opportunities that come to you. Obviously being such a short track, so and obviously the toes are all effective down the straight, so that helps as well.
All right, mate, keep on it. We still have no information as to when we get back off this red flag situation. Chris White Jr. got the win yesterday. This is a rather crazy race today, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a little bit of carnage in there. I think I can put my hand up to one of the incidents there. I was just going up the inside of someone and accidentally tagged the car in front. But
so that's the Cameron Hill one?
Yeah, well, that one I was following the car ahead, but just 2 cars into one corner never really works out. So we'll look at the footage after the race and see what the haps is, but size forward from here.
All right, well done, mate. So, Jonathan, that's where we've discovered we have a new championship leader. We've talked to Chris White Jr., who, of course, was involved in the Cameron Hill thing. He says maybe we'll look at everything afterwards. And we've got young Cooper Barnes there, if you remember, was on pole position yesterday. Couldn't quite get it done. Will they get it done? We shall find out.
Great stuff, Stephen. And yes, I can confirm. I mean, we've still got 9 laps to go. We'll see how many of those we get in. But yes, Backris moves to 4:19 ahead of Hugo Allen, who is really struggling this weekend. On 4:06 now he drops to second. Bethune, very, very calm and collected about what's going on. People driving in their doors. He's on 3:89. I'm keeping a watchful eye on Bethune. He could be somebody to watch for the overall championship. And Justin Allen, work to do for him. He now drops to 4th in the championship on 3:77.
Yeah, and Josh Bethune, you know, he, after that, obviously he had a disqualification at round 1 for for an infringement. You know, it wasn't his fault, but you know, sorry, nothing to do with his driving. But you know, he's now back third in the championship, so that just shows how good he's been driving and how consistent he's been over the last couple of rounds. You know, he's done a really good job to get himself back in the top 3, and clearly those right karts by M2 competition cars are really fast, and he's certainly demonstrating that. And obviously, yeah, there was a bit of, as we heard in his comments, there was a bit of door-to-door action there between him and Cormac Murphy, and unfortunately Cormac came off second best out of that one. But you know, it's part of car racing, and obviously there, you know, in this class we see a lot of rubbing as racing, and it's part of the game. So as we see there, the 43 car of Cameron Hill, that's a little bit more than a rub, Jonathan. That poor old GR86 looks a couple of feet shorter than it started the race.
I know, it's supposed to go to Cromwell, so they've got a lot of work to do. But let's head back down to the lane and Stephen McIver.
Yeah, that is more than a nudge, Ron. A nice call on that one. One familiar name that's back here in the GR86 and the Ultra Interiors car is our good mate Dion Pitt, who's been helping the Race Lab team and certainly turned some heads, particularly with the performance of Cormac Murphy. They got a little wild today. I don't know if you've seen what he's been doing. We'll leave that out. What's it like being back in the 86?
Hectic, man, hectic. It's a die or a win or die really out there, to be honest, up there. I thought it'd be a bit better in the top 10 today, but it's just bumper cars up there.
Yeah, not what you want to see.
Nah, it needs to be some clean racing, to be honest. But hey, I'm glad with my progress. Move forward and let's see what the rest of this race can do.
And how hungry were you to get back in a car?
Oh, pretty hungry. I mean, I've done a lot of driving since, but competitively, it feels really good. My inner self is coming back out.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see you helping others too, mate. We're seeing lots of progress.
Yeah, 100%. The main goal of this weekend was to come in and help the team move forward again, help Cormac and Thomas and Simon. Unfortunately, Simon's not with us anymore this weekend, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress we made.
Well, thanks, bud.
Cheers, mate.
Lads.
Thank you. And yeah, Dion Pitt, great guy to have in your corner. Of course, he did the 86 Championship a few years ago. Very, very proficient. He's now working at Highlands with Damon Leach, and we'll be seeing him, of course, there. He's doing both these two Southland races, but I think he's really been a help for Cormac, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, definitely. He's definitely helped the progress of that team this weekend. We saw how strong Race Lab were on the Friday in the practice sessions, topping all 3. But we've just heard we've had an update. Cameron Hill's been cleared by the medical team,
Good.
So that's awesome news and always what you want to hear. A massive testament to the safety of these Bridgestone GR86s, and a credit to everyone at Toyota GAZOO Racing New Zealand for building such a safe racing car. But going back to what we see there, a lot of dirt and grime on the front of these cars. They've been driven hard and not necessarily always on the black stuff, as we can see there, Jonathan. So it's quite interesting. But again, you know, these races are so topsy-turvy. Justin Allen, who finished second yesterday, he's all the way back down. Just, you know, at the just inside the top 20, and you know, he obviously had that moment at the start of the race. We've obviously seen action between the rest of the guys. You know, Chris White Jr., who won the race yesterday, was, you know, and you know, played a part or was involved in that incident with Cameron Hill. You know, to what degree, I'm sure we'll know eventually. But you know, it's just wild to see. Obviously, Cormac Murphy started at the front. He's now towards the back. It's Hugo Allen, our previous championship leader. He's outside the top 20. So it's moving and shaking very, very fast, and you can't really put a figure or a sort of quantify what the result's actually going to be, because it just continuously changes.
We'll keep an eye on the 81 as he went grass tracking and lost all that position. He's now just ahead of Thomas Mallard, who we're looking at right now. Dad will be watching on. Doing a bit of GT racing. His dad also used to do the 86 Championship. Together they did it, and it was a lot of fun watching them both out there. Here's Morton and the Mad Butcher sponsored car. That's a sponsor that's been around for a long, long time over the years, and good to see it out there again, and a thumbs up and a wave from him. And we're about to get going again as lines
Actually,
in the 35.
Another one, Jonathan, Lachlan Evanet. We see him there. He's only just ahead of Hugo Allen. He was the 3rd place finisher from yesterday. So, you know, we saw him end up in a spin out of the last corner. So it's just all the guys that seem to have success or seem to have a decent result either yesterday or in the past all seem to be having, you know, issues. So it's quite, certainly makes good entertainment for us.
Well, as the tyres go in, we are moments away, but let's head once again down to Stephen McIver.
Just briefly, you never want to be the bearer of bad news, and it's been a hell of a weekend for Hugo Allen. Got to say, you're no longer the championship leader after what's going on, Hugo. What has been going on this weekend?
Yeah, obviously I put myself a little bit on the back foot in qualifying. That's something that we need to work on, and something I need to work on in myself, just getting pace out of the green tyre. And we had actually quite a good race yesterday, passing 8 cars or so. So we know we can do that, but unfortunately in this race, just trying to move up through the field, and yeah, had a wee incident up at turn 1. So it is what it is, but ultimately I've put myself in this position, so it's my responsibility to get us out of it. Car's been really good all weekend, and it has been all season. So yeah, can't ask for anything more from the boys or anyone else. Just gotta do a better job in myself. So yeah, feeling a little bit beaten down, but yeah, I look forward to Highlands and also race 3 this afternoon, and hopefully we can pick it back up again.
Well, the positive is no longer a target on your back. Now you can be the hunter. Yeah, okay. Well, no, that's you were talking to someone. That's the second time it's happened. No, go well, Hugo. There you go. So Hayden Backrus confirming now the championship leader as this race gets ready to restart.
Yes, Hayden Backrus on 4:19 now. Hugo Allen drops to second on 4:06, but I think he won't mind playing the hunter this time. He has led throughout this season. Still a long way to go, remember, and we'll be racing quite a lot. It's not the end at Highlands by any means to this championship, so Hugo Allen doesn't need to get down, but Bethune is coming and coming fast. Now 3:89, and Justin Allen drops to 4th. Chris White very much a factor this weekend on 3:58. Cooper Barnes could be a man to watch. He is right up there. He's leading this race, and if it's called, or if we do get restarted, he's in the best position of all. But as you can see, the tyres are now fixed, and we should be racing very soon.
And that's a, you know, just hearing, obviously, Hugo speaking there, he's a very cool cucumber. You know, he didn't seem too phased by much, and obviously he's, you know, really good attitude to have, and obviously he's taking responsibility there for that mistake, and that's the way, you know, the way it should be, and the way you want to go about things, you know, so really good self-awareness there, and really good attitude and outlook on it. So I'm sure he's going to be working pretty hard if we get a restart here to try and claw some points back and chase back after those couple of guys that are all in the hunt for the championship currently.
Well, as you can see, all the doors are open, trying to stay cool. You can see the heat haze rising, so it's getting hot out there. And if you're strapped in with your suit on and your helmet on, the temperature's going to go up and the adrenaline flowing, and it'll have dissipated somewhat. But now you've got to re-rig it all together. Cooper Barnes will lead the field. Caleb Byers with his first ever pole position. Josh Bethune in 3rd. Let's head down once again to Stephen.
Just a quick update. We were talking about the potential of a car coming off the grid for the remainder of the race because of a technical car. 47, the Pizza Hut entry, Mason Potter. They have a hole in the radiator. The crew pretty unhappy. They're saying just a lot of people going off track and a lot of garbage coming into the cars. And I'm puffing because I ran.
Good man. That's what we like to see. Making the effort, Mr. MacGyver.
Good enough.
Cracking some purple sectors there, Stephen. Love to see it. It's, yeah, disappointing if that is the case, unfortunately, for Mason Potter there in the 47 car. But looks like we're about to get a restart shortly. We'll be behind the safety car, and we are not too far away from green flag conditions to see out the remainder of race 2 of the Bridgestone GR86 Championship this morning. And Jonathan, if it's anything to go by after the first half of the race, I can't wait for this second half.
Well, the good news for Cooper Barnes is that, as we look at Josh Bethune, is that it's a rolling start. So he'll wait for the safety car to come off the elbow, go into the pits, and then it'll be him plain sailing down the front straight. But it's such a long straight that you really want to watch your back, because it's a great opportunity to pounce for the others, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw, you know, Cooper Barnes seemed to be able to get off that last corner really well and get a really good run. But in those last couple of laps, I'm not sure what it was, but Caleb Byers' car and him as a driver really came on strong. And he was yeah, not far off, probably looking to try and have an attack at Cooper Barnes. And we heard him say, you know, on the grid, he said, hey, our car was coming on really well. I really hope we get a restart here. I really want to try and have a crack at this. So I think that's going to be one to watch. Obviously, you can never factor Josh Bethune out. He's been sort of the constant denominator almost across every round. You know, bar, okay, the results probably aren't representative from the first round, but he's been fast, really, really fast. One of the top 3 fastest cars pretty much in every round.
Now we're going to get 2 safety car laps, and the reason for that is we want to get the tyres up to temperature, so when they dive into that first corner, that complex, you've got good heat in those tyres and you've got good grip. Good crowd as always here at Invercargill, and as we've mentioned before, it opened in 1957, so these are a hardy crew of watchers. And look at that man, Arvid Lindblad, watching on as the 86ers get underway. He's got his suit on, he's ready to go, and on his phone, but nice shot from one of our cameramen there, letting us know where the top man is. Morning, Arvid.
And cool to see Arvid taking an interest in some of the other categories going on. I'm sure, you know, he's obviously a racer at heart and just wants to watch some more car racing before we see him in action later on today in the first of the Castrol Toyota Formula Regional Oceania Championship races. But we're not too far from a restart here. Cooper Barnes, he's going to lead us off once we get the green flag. One more lap behind the GR Supra safety car. So we cars head off down that that front straight again, to complete their final safety car lap before we go green.
Is there a secret to starting a rolling start well?
I think, to be honest, I think it's actually more than anything just watching further ahead than the car ahead of you. You know, you want to see when the guy that's at the front, off the first position when he goes, that's when you want to look to go. But you've also got to make sure you understand the rule book and make sure you're not up beside or passing a car before you're supposed to. But anything you can do to sort of mimic what the car that's controlling the pace is doing is going to help you. So that's, sometimes people get caught out because they're too busy looking at the car directly in front of them, and that car might get a bad restart, which is then going to hurt you. So you always want to watch maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 cars ahead of you to see what they do before you make a decision. But we see here we shouldn't be too far away. Coming around turn one, doing a full big 180. It's such a long corner here at Teretonga Park. You know, you're halfway through it and you think, when's this going to end? It's certainly a fast one as well at that. So great to see that the track's been, all the recovery's been done. It's been put back to how it should be, and glad to hear that Cameron Hill was okay after that incident. And we look through the field, you know, there's a couple of notables that have made some serious ground, you know, the likes of Chris White Jr., our race winner from yesterday. He's there in 6th. And Emerson Vincent's actually moved up to 8th from 24th. So he's passed 16 cars, which is, yeah, a pretty impressive feat, really, in all honesty. To come from that far back and pass that many cars in 12 laps is a big go. But we see there Christina Allwest in the Dale ITM entry for James Marshall Motorsport. She's had a few issues up to this point with cars and whatnot, but she's ready to go, making up the rear of the field there as the safety car's now pulled in.
All right, we're about to go racing again here. 12 laps done of the 18. And it's now in the hands of Cooper Barnes and Caleb Byers as they head down the main straight and get this race restarted after that incident. Away we go.
And Cooper Barnes did a great job there. I think he caught the rest of them napping. He's got about a 2-3 car length gap over everybody, so it's probably enough just to break that toe a little bit. So we see there Zach Blinko's having a crack at Justin Allen down towards turn 1. Blake Knowles, reigning Formula Ford champion, just behind them. Come through turn 1 for this restart.
Important restart for Justin Allen. He doesn't want to let Blinko through. He's in the top 10 at the moment, and that bodes well for points for Justin Allen. He's 4th at the moment. He's dropped to 4th, having been 2nd earlier in the season. So he will push on for sure. But that was a great restart for Cooper Barnes. He's got the measure of Caleb Byers in this one. But Blinko all over Allen.
And that's a really, looks like Cormac Murphy's got an issue of some sort of it further back. He's slowed right down. So really disappointing way to end the race for the number 81 Penny Holmes car. But we go back to the front there. Cooper Barnes, a little bit wide there actually on the exit of 1, and he's given Caleb Byers, he's given Caleb Byers a bit of a run. So Caleb's got the toe now coming up the front straight. I'm sure his dad Ben's going to be there somewhere on the pit wall, shouting and screaming. But we go down the front straight. Caleb's got a good run there.
Not just quite close enough, I don't think.
Yeah, not quite.
Justin Allen shaking Blinko. And into turn 1 they go, the leaders. And 14 of the 18 gone, just 4 to go now.
Yeah, and Byers, he's so good through that turn 1. He's so fast. He's clearly got a line or something he's doing just a lot better than everybody else, because he just makes so much time there. He's driven away from Josh Bethune, and he's all over Barnes, putting serious pressure on him. So Byers is the car that we've got to watch at the moment. He is the one that's looking like he's the most menacing right now.
And actually, often when they battle like this, you lose ground for those chasing. But it looks as though they're pulling each other away from the chasing pack, these two.
Yeah, and Caleb Byers is in the perfect position right now. He's got no pressure from behind, and he's putting all the pressure on the car ahead. He's made Barnes defend. Josh Bethune's also gone defensive on our championship leader, Hayden Baccaris. Harry Townsend's looking really fast there in 5th as well. He's pushing on hard, and he's got the race 1 winner from yesterday, Chris White Jr. there behind him in 6th.
Hugo Allen up to 17th now, so as he planned. But there's surely now a chance for Caleb Byers down the back straight, or down the front straight. Here he comes to the inside, now the outside, putting huge pressure on Barnes, the youngster.
And these two are going to have to be careful. They don't want to defend too much, because if they continue to fight on like this, it'll bring the other cars back in the fight. Byers is just so good through turn 1. He's got so much more speed than Barnes. He's right up behind him. Barnes again having to defend down to turn 2. So Caleb's going to have a bit of a think here, be a bit crafty and think, where's Barnes weaker than I am? Where can I sort of try and maybe potentially try and sell him a dummy to try and fire it down the inside? It's very easy, or quite easy, to defend here at Teretonga Park. It's, as we've heard from previous drivers, it's quite a skinny track, is the terminology I've heard. So it's certainly a hard place to pass. So young Caleb Byers there, he's doing a great job, and he's just going to have a bit of a think about this one, how he's going to do it. Barnes has gone defensive again, so's Josh Bethune. There's a gaggle of about 4 or 5 cars behind these guys. Harry Townsend's there on the inside. Chris White Jr. is trying to go around the outside there of somebody else. I think that might be Dion Pitts. So Dion Pitts now got a toe on Chris White Jr. A little bit of side drafting as they go up the front straight.
This is great racing. Cooper Barnes and Caleb Byers. Lights on then for Byers as he tries in vain at the moment to get past. Time ticking down though, 16 laps gone.
And this battle at the front's just getting better and better. And Byers, again, he's just got so much speed through turn 1. He just needs to figure out what he can do. He's got to find an opportunity somewhere.
We saw an overtake
We've seen
yesterday.
an overtake, we sure have. He's braked a little bit early. Barnes has gone in deep. Byers has got the better line on the exit there. Is he going to be able to try and set up a pass there at the last corner? That's probably going to be his best opportunity if he can somehow force Barnes off that inside line.
Last couple of laps, he's gone to the outside at the last elbow turn. Maybe he'll look to the inside this time, switch it up a little bit, but now he's lost a bit of time there, hitting the dirt, and so he won't be able to make that move just now.
Yeah, and he's pushing on hard, ran a little bit of dirt there on the exit of the third.
Good Justin Allen.
Justin Allen looking down the inside of Harry Townsend. Townsend was looking down the inside of Jet Murray there, but they've pulled back in line. Josh Bethune's got a huge amount of pressure on him from Hayden Baccaris. We see Byers there flashing the lights. Dion Pitts managed to move up into 5th place. Brilliant job from him. Chris White Jr. there in 6th. Emerson Vincent's moved into 7th. And Harry Townsend's actually lost a few spots out of all that. So we see there, Junior's trying to go around the outside of Dion Pitt, but Dion, he's an experienced head. He knows how to race, and he's managed to clear off that attack from Chris White Jr.
Baccaris looking for a way past as well. He senses this opportunity to extend his lead in the championship. He looks to the inside, now to the outside. He is pushing hard on at the moment and trying everything he can on this penultimate lap.
Byers, he's still there on the back of Cooper Barnes. He's lost maybe a little bit of ground. Hayden Baccaris was actually looking really threatening on the back of Josh Bethune, but Bethune's managed to clear away from him a little bit. As we look further down, Jet Murray there in 8th behind this gaggle of cars. Harry Townsend there in 9th, and Justin Allen, the 2nd place getter from yesterday, rounding out the top 10.
So then, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this one. This is race 2. One more to come. Justin Allen all over the back of the car in front of him at the moment, trying desperately to stay in the top 10 and in fact improve his position if he can. And it's all or nothing now as we go on to lap 18. Baccaris, the championship leader, trying desperately to get past the 32. He jigs to the outside here in turn 1.
Yeah, we look back round, so again, Baccaris is he's applying that pressure, building the pressure on the back of Josh Bethune's car there, but Bethune's a wise head. He's been around a long time. He's not gonna phase him too much. He's just not gonna make sure that he doesn't give Baccaris the inside. So we see there, Byers got a great run through that corner, and he's all over the back of Barnes again. So he's probably only gonna have maybe one more opportunity to try and put a move on Barnes.
It's gonna be the elbow if he's gonna do it, and it's gonna be an elbow because he's gonna have to get his elbows out if he wants past. But this is a great drive from Cooper Barnes. Take nothing away from the man who's been under pressure for the entire race.
And we see there Barnes doing what you'd expect. He's gone to the inside of the track, just defending, making it hard for Byers. Byers got a good run off the last corner, but we're going to have to see as they come up the front straight. He's in the toe. I don't think it's going to be quite enough as Barnes comes across the line, the young Australian, to win the race.
Barnes wins it in style under immense pressure there. Excellent race by him, and he did that very, very well. It's never easy when you've got somebody right on your tailpipe like that. And Cooper Barnes takes the win ahead of Caleb Byers. Josh Bethune takes third, and Hayden Backarus. So watch out for Bethune and Backarus to now start to dominate this weekend, with Hugo Allen struggling somewhat, and Justin Allen likewise not getting the points he would like out of that race. And another park up here, that's Vincent. Well, he's heading tonight on a plane.
Yeah, I wonder what the issue there is for that car. Obviously, he maybe had a presiding issue and just wanted to get it across the line to finish the race, get the points, and then pull off the track. But to take a look at the results. Yeah, confirmation, Cooper Barnes of Australia takes the win ahead of Caleb Byers in second place, Josh Bethune third, Hayden Backarus fourth. Then Dion Pitt, a good result for him in his return to 86. Then White, Murray, Townsend in 8th. Justin Allen did actually get into 9th, so well done to him. Emerson Vincent, who we saw parked up there, down in 10th. Blake Knowles in 12th. Braun in 13th. Hugo Allen, well, not a good weekend, really. 14th place for the championship leader that was, now drops down to 2nd. Mallard, Morton, Evanet, Hayden Lyons, Cormac Murphy, right back at the back. Mason Potter, AJ Giddy, and Raymond Mallard. Let's have a look at the highlights. And right from the get-go, good start by the leaders. Everybody jostling for position. And it was neck and neck going into the first quarter. Caleb Byers, Cooper Barnes, Justin Allen taking the Repco sign with him. Managed to recover. Cormac Murphy was up in the top 3 early on, but then would go grass tracking himself, as did the number 88 Pack and Save car of Chris White. And there was a lot of argy-bargy, as they say in rugby parlance. A spin round. And then more off-track excursions before we would get a red flag. But here comes the 81, and yep, more mirrors flying everywhere. But that was Hugo Allen at turn 1. He managed to recuperate that one from the gravel and keep going. But there was more to come, and this was the big off. Chris White involved in that. But off goes Cameron Hill, and yeah, a little stretch, quite lightly. And then in the closing stages, it was all about these two. Cooper Barnes holding off Caleb Byers, and holding him off he did. Well done to that young man from Australia. That is a very, very good feather in his cap. Let's head down to Stephen McIver.
Well, Cooper, makes up for yesterday. Congratulations, your first win in the Bridgestone GR86 Championship. Must feel good.
Yeah, it's super happy with that. It was pretty tight out there, and he was putting a lot of pressure over me, so yeah.
Caleb was all over you in those final races. Were you trying to forget about him or just race your race?
I was just trying to race my race, just trying to make sure I didn't understeer off the track because it was a bit going in the front, but yeah.
Congratulations, get ready for the podium.
Thanks.
Caleb Byers, come on in, mate. Boy, you know how to put pressure on someone. First podium, by the way, for you in the Bridgestone GR86 Championship. Feel good?
Yeah, it was mega. The car was real good, so I got to thank the boys for that. Worked myself overnight and I'm real happy with that result.
Talk to us about why you were so good out of turn 1. Our boys were crowing about it.
Yeah, I don't know. The car's just real fast through there. Got to sacrifice a little bit 7, but it's worked well. So, no, it was good. I had a good race with Cooper, so it was fun.
Go and enjoy your first podium.
Yes, thank you, mate. Appreciate
Josh Bethune, who now is in P3 in the championship, and clean. That's what you were today. Clean, and you needed to be in that race, right?
Yeah, like we say, it's consistency is going to win this championship. And yeah, to be fair, we started off grid 6 and had a good start. And yeah, we moved our way forward. I'd like to thank my sponsors, JW Group, Firewatch Otago, Right Karts Academy by M2 Competition, Industry Hire, and Rotax Racing.
And just remember, there's one more race to go, so keep it clean again, right?
Exactly. We've still got the big one later.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate the time. Okay, time for the podium. Race 2, round 3 here in the Bridgestone GR86 Championship at Teretonga Park in Invercargill. Trophies today presented by Gareth Michelle, the Regional Sales Manager for Bridgestone. And in third position, Josh Bethune. In second position, and his first podium in the Bridgestone GR86 Championship, Caleb Byers. And your winner, and his first win in the Bridgestone GR86 Championship from Australia, Cooper Barnes. And that is your official podium for Race 2, Round 3 of the Bridgestone GR86 Championship.